of chapter 4. I had some questions that we didn't quite get to at the end of Wednesday's lecture, so I just wanted to go through them. The first question was, which are not metals? Arsenic, copper, calcium, or krypton? So the first task that I need to do is actually find out what are the chemical symbols of these. So arsenic, AS, copper, Cu, calcium, Ca, and krypton, Kr. So once I've figured out their chemical symbols, I'm going to look on a periodic table. So you're going to need your periodic table handy as you're doing this to make sense of what we're doing. And I'm looking for elements that are to the left of the staircase, so on this side of the table. So arsenic, I find just to the right of the line. It's not a metal. Copper is over here to the left of the staircase. That's a metal. Calcium is over here in group 2. That's a metal. We don't think of calcium as being a metal, but chemically, calcium in element form is a metal. You usually don't see it in element form. Krypton is over here on the right side of the table. It is not an element. We also asked for what are 2 elements that would be similar to chromium. Again, chromium, Cr, I find on the periodic table, and it is number 24 on the periodic table. And the key to this question is understanding that elements in the same group will have the same behavior. So I'm looking for other elements in this group. Choices are molybdenum, Mo, tungsten, W, and keep finding my place, Sg, seaborgium. So any 2 of those 3 would be ones that were similar to chromium. There was a question about what is true about the arrangement of the periodic table. Is the periodic table arranged in rows called groups? No, groups are what we call the columns. Now if you altered that to say it's arranged in rows called periods or columns called groups, then it would be true. Every element has a 2-letter code. False. Some elements have 2-letter codes, some have just a single chemical letter. Sorry, let me say that again. Some chemical symbols have just 1 letter. The elements increase in atomic mass as you read through the table. If you're not careful, you're going to say, yes, they do seem to increase. And as I start at the upper left and I go to the right and read down like I'm reading a book, they generally increase. But look what happens when you get to nickel. Cobalt is 58.93. Then nickel is 58.69. So it does, in some cases we find instances where the mass is not increasing. The table is arranged by atomic number. It definitely always increases by 1 as we read through the table in atomic number. And elements in the same group have the same behavior. That is true. Which one is not a metal property? It must be solid. That is not a metal property. For instance, mercury is liquid and it is a metal. So it does conduct electricity. All metals conduct electricity. Some better than others. They all have relatively high, actually I think they have lower melting points comparatively to, no, they're fairly high. I don't remember what's ever on the group. Found on the left of the staircase of the table, absolutely. So these are, that's an absolute for metals. That's the definition of a metal. Members of alkaline earth group, again, this is why I keep insisting that you need to memorize these chemical symbols. I need to figure out that the chemical symbol for potassium is K, the chemical symbol for radium, Ra, the chemical symbol for lithium, Li, and the chemical symbol for manganese, Mn. And alkaline earth group is going to be group 2. So I look on my periodic table, I look in group 2, and calcium, nope, strontium, barium, radium. This is the only one. All the others are in different groups. Similarly, if I ask you for the atomic number, tin, sodium, silicon, copper, the key is that you need to know the chemical symbols. The chemical symbol of tin is Sn. From that, I can locate it on the periodic table. It's number 50. Sodium is Na. It's number 11. Silicon, Si. And that one's number 14. Copper is Cu, and its number is 29.